Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Night Light with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood.
Whatever gets you through the night, it's all right.
And now, a guy who always reads between the lines until he sees a car coming, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome to Night Light, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, we're doing this. It's Wednesday night in beautiful downtown Green Bay, speaking out to the entire state, which is always fun, especially as we lead up to Halloween. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you had a great day wherever you're joining us from. Welcome, welcome. Please be part of the show. Great guest tonight. A fun question. And Conrad Krieger working the board. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Doing very well, thank you. I got parking on the street tonight because I was cutting it a little. Well, I got here about 20 to 6, but it was a little closer than I like to cut it. But and I was 2 minutes short of 6 o'clock because they can ticket you after 6 o'clock here in downtown Green, or before 6 o'clock. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I had enough money, enough loose change in my car to take me to take me to 557. So if I go out there and I have a ticket, I'm going to raise civic hell. We'll see.
Isn't that the best though when you find some loose change? You're like, this will come handy.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is like nobody out there. All the spots, like all the meters, have the red light blinking.
Well, now you just gave them a tip. All right.
I guess I just alerted everyone's taking advantage of.
It's past 6. I'm just kidding.
I know, but you could listen if you're trying to meet a quota and you're a cop. There's 4 right there. Nobody paid. So. I don't know. I'm just trying to be a good citizen. So there you go. We've got a great show tonight, folks. 2 great guests, as usual. I can't remember the last time we had a bad guest. Have we ever had a bad guest, Conrad?
No, definitely not.
You know, there are some that are more entertaining than others. If they're interesting, funny, or just nice people, it's fun.
Everyone has their own story.
Everyone has their own story. Well said. John Roach will be here at 6:35 tonight. Speaking of great guests, he made a documentary called A Road at Night. It's really, really good. It's about Howard Moore and his family. Howard was a UW Madison basketball player. He played his high school ball in Chicago, came up to Madison, fell in love with Madison, met a girl from Madison. They had a family. And there was a tragedy, a car wreck involving a drunk driver, and which altered the Moore families, all of their lives. And we'll talk about that with John at 6:35. His documentary is so good; it will make you fall in love with Madison and UW basketball and the Moore family. It's just a heartwarming, beautiful story, and it's going to be playing at the Driftless Film Festival. Probably, I think it's November 6th, but we'll talk to John about that. And then at 7:20, sticking with the spirit of Halloween, our pal from Door County Trolley, Carl Surecki, will be here. Carl was here last year, told us some great stories about the trolley and the tour they take with the ghost stories. And you know what kind of surprised me about that is he did not really hold back. He said there's some creepy stuff that happens, even during the tour, occasionally. So my wife and I were thinking about going there this weekend, and I wonder if...
Ooh, that sounds fun.
I've never been... I don't think I've been all the way up to the point by Ellison Bay where you can look out to Washington Island.
Oh, I was there for a brief moment.
Yeah. Recently, right?
Yeah, but it was cool just to see, like, the edge of the thumb.
Yeah. And that's... I might have been there. I just can't remember. But I know I've been countless times to Sister Bay, but... I don't know that I've been up to Ellison Bay, maybe once or twice, but I don't know that I ever saw the actual tip of the thumb. So we might do that. We'll see. But Carl will be here at 7:20, telling some spooky trolley stories. You know, he's a history teacher by day.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Then he runs into a phone booth and puts on the trolley director outfit.
You know, I thought of being a history teacher in high school.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
But then I went for finance.
So you were going to be a history teacher, you went for finance, and now you're producing radio. Oh, okay.
You know, I went for finance for like, 2 semesters, and I was like, this sucks.
Listen, that's where the money is if you can deal with it, but I was the same way. I remember going through that phase where I was like, oh, I should be responsible and go into business. And I'm like, I don't know the first thing about business. I'm not even really interested in it. Why would I do that? You know?
I got a rude awakening when I took accounting in high school, and I got A's in both of the accounting classes I did.
Wow.
And like the last level of it in high school too. So I went into college thinking, this will be a breeze. And I took one accounting class, fell way behind. I was like, this is not for me. This is not for me.
Is it too late to drop a class? I was like that in high school. I took an accounting class and it was like debit, credit, that should be it. You got more than you spend more than you got. What else is there? But oh my God, there's a ton of stuff. And after about 3 days, I just completely spaced out. I probably got like a D+ in the class because the teacher thought I was funny. But it's terrible. Yeah, I'm not good at that stuff. But so anyway, John Roach, Carl Sorecki, two great guests, and we have a question we should probably get to because I think it's a fun Halloween question. So let's get to the Nightlight question of the night.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
Question.
Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda. Question.
Questions.
Oh, we got a good one, folks. A good one in the spirit of Halloween. Tonight's question is, what is the perfect Halloween double feature? You're in for the night. It's raining, maybe windy, stormy. Kids are done trick-or-treating, grandkids, whatever. What's the Halloween double feature? It's on a Friday this year, so it's a great night to kick back, make some popcorn, and watch two scary movies. What is your Halloween double feature? 855-752-4842. 855-75-CIVIC. You can drop us a comment on the app. If you don't have the Civic Media app, download it, please. It's very easy to use, and it's great. You can take it with you. Or if you're watching the radio on Facebook, X, or YouTube, drop us a stream comment. And if you're watching on Facebook or X, give us a like and or a follow if you're so inclined. I got to be honest. I'm still thinking about this. So why don't you go? I really can't. I'm not a big scary movie guy, but I'm kind of having trouble figuring out what my second movie should be.
I'm not a huge horror fan either, but I like when they combine it with comedy.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why I picked A Haunted House. That's with Marlon Wayans. And A Haunted House 2.
Oh, my God. I've never even heard of those.
It's so funny. And they basically parody, in the first one, it's Paranormal Activity they parody.
Yeah.
And in the second one, it's like a mixture. They do, the doll Annabelle?
Yeah.
They do a parody of that.
Those are movies, right? Yeah.
They do the parody of in the second one. So
it's got to be. I mean, if the Wayans brothers are involved, I would think it's a parody.
It's hilarious.
Sometimes I find those guys funny, and sometimes I'm like, next.
Yeah, they have some great actors in it too. In the second one, Gabriel Iglesias shows up. I know you love Gabriel
Iglesias. Oh, the comedian.
Yeah.
I was thinking Julio's kid, Enrique. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I got nothing against Gabriel Iglesias. I just couldn't follow him. It was a defining moment in my comedy career. All right, those are two, and that was easy. Same franchise. And I just figured out what my second movie will be. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off with Rear Window, which is not a horror film, but it's scary. There's a murder. It all takes place in New York City where Jimmy Stewart can look out and see the other apartments, and he sees what he thinks is a terrible crime. Great movie, one of my all-time faves. And then I would segue into The Shining, which is a bona fide horror film.
Yeah.
So those are my two. That's my double feature. Conrad's got his double feature. What is your Halloween double feature? That is tonight's question of the night. Let us know. Be part of the show, folks. Always more fun when you guys participate. I will say I finished the movie. I think I mentioned this the other day, A House of Dynamite. It's Catherine Bigelow directed. She's a very good director, great action director. And it was good. It was like a nonlinear telling of a nuclear warhead headed to America. And they pick it up and they're trying to figure out if they should retaliate. They don't really know where it's from. So therein lies kind of the conflict for the president, played by Idris Elba. And I liked that. He was portrayed as very human. Like, what do I do? They don't know who launched it. And there are people telling him, just nuke all your enemies. So there's like a moral dilemma. And he wasn't that typical macho movie president. He was like really conflicted. Like, what would I do? And what would you do? You've got your enemies saying they didn't send it. They deny it. I think the first city that went was Cleveland. Another one was headed right for Chicago. Like, cities would be obliterated. What do you do in response? So it was interesting, and it ended very ambiguously. Like, they don't really give you a finite ending of what happened. But I think it's supposed to just ask a question. But I did like it. It moved. Got pretty good reviews. I didn't love it, but I was entertained. So there you go. If you're watching something, share that with us as well, folks. Also, I want to tell you, if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to Civic Media Today. It's a brand new daily newsletter, and it has all the Civic Media content delivered right to your inbox every weekday, connecting you to all the news stories, podcast feeds, YouTube live streams, other favorite shows, and more. I do Hollywood Beats every day. A lot of times there's a column that will be included in that as well. So definitely check out Civic Media Today. Great way to stay informed, and go to civicmedia.us for more information. So where are you going, Conrad? You're gone tomorrow. You're leaving on the eve of Halloween. What gives?
Yeah, I got a pretty early flight at
You got a fight before you hit the road? Who are you fighting?
at 9:30. That's my flight time. So actually, it's pretty nice.
It's not too bad.
And it's only like I get an hour to Chicago from Appleton, and then Chicago to Tennessee. So it's it's not total travel time is 5 hours with the
layover.
The layover, thank you. Yeah, so I'm going to Tennessee to see one of my best friends get married.
Well done. Are you in the party? Are you in the wedding party? Okay.
Yep.
Best man?
Not best man. His brother is, but I'm up there.
There is no shame in losing best man status to a relative, right?
Yeah.
Have you been to Tennessee?
Yeah, actually, where we're going is Gatlinburg.
Okay.
And I went there when I was 10, somewhere around that age. I went to Gatlinburg, stayed at this kind of cool resort when I was younger, and it's such a cool area because there's mountains, everywhere.
Oh, yeah, it's a very beautiful state.
And one of the main things is there was a huge attraction there, I think. I don't know if it's still there or not, but you go all the way up this, like, gondola kind of thing, and it goes all the way up, and it's at the top of a mountain.
Okay.
And it's really cool. Yeah, so Gatlinburg.
That is cool. I think at some point on the show, I talked about when I flew there because I was in a movie. I had a small part in a movie. So I flew to Tennessee. The taxi driver picked me up, and he took me to my hotel. It was like a 45-minute drive. And he was telling me the story about a city. I can't remember the name of the city, but it had nuclear issues.
That's always nice to hear.
Yeah, and he goes, well, I'm not going to bore you with the whole story. There's this long pause, and he goes, but basically, he went into this long story. But every time he mentioned a Tennessee city, he mentioned Gatlin. Is it Gatlinburg?
Yeah.
I go, is that the home of the Gatlin brothers? He just looks at me and goes, no. And then there was like another city that was like, Oak Ridge it was. That's the nuclear city.
Oh, okay.
And I said, is that where the Oak Ridge boys are from? He goes, no. I was just trying to connect. Like, I thought this is where these bands got their name, and he totally, I don't know. He didn't like me, Conrad. I was just trying to connect.
Did you tip him at least?
Probably. All right, we're coming right back to read your text. Our question of the night, what's your Halloween double feature? It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I wanna cry, cry, cry alone when you feeling blue. I'm waiting just for you.
7.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager, hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic Sports in Wisconsin. This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
This weekend, we all fall back. Daylight saving time ends and we turn our clocks back 1 hour. It's also a good time to check your smoke detectors and replace those batteries. Stay safe, stay on time. A message from your local Civic Media radio station. Missed your favorite show live on air? It's easy to find what you enjoy wherever you listen to podcasts, including Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And we're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media.
Schwaba, this is Nite. So fun on a Wednesday, major holiday right around the corner, folks. There's a nip in the air and some creepy winds blowing. Halloween is right around the corner. Our question of the night is, what is your Halloween double feature? I said Rear Window, which isn't a horror film, but it's scary. It's involves a murder, and then I went with The Shining, which just is beyond creepy to me. And not even the parts of The Shining that scare me the most are not even like the over-the-top or overt scary scenes, like where he's got the axe, or it's just the stuff like where he's in the men's room talking about to the attendant, and you can hear the party that doesn't even exist in the background. So many creepy things like that. And Nicholson's just creepy. Even when he takes the gig and he's talking to the hotel manager, he's just a creepy guy. Conrad said, I've already forgotten.
A Haunted House.
A Wayans Brothers franchise.
A Haunted House, and then a Haunted House 2.
Okay. So what's yours? What did you say Rich Tallarico posted?
I saw it on Facebook.
I love Rich's posts.
He said he ordered no-show socks and they never came.
I love his Key and Peele skit is so funny. The substitute teacher.
It's in the Smithsonian, correct?
Yeah.
And it's just like,
it's brilliant.
I'm pretty sure everyone my age and older too, just like part of my childhood was always saying names wrong because of that skit.
Right. And when he came on the show last time he was on the show, he said, let's do a bit. And I was like, oh man, I'm going to improv with this like Second City alumni who's this great sketch writer. And yeah, he's so funny and such a great guy. So that's good stuff. Let's read some of our social media responses. JB Thompson, the guy behind the guy. Conrad.
Behind the guy.
Yeah. Ed Gein, the musical, and the Godfather of Green Bay. Oh boy. Although Tim's Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein is amazing. And also Daniel Wheeler's Last Witch in Wisconsin and Scary Movie 3. So many options. Boy, JB is a salesman.
That's another comedy, with scary movies.
He worked a lot of movies into that text that he has ties to most of them. The Godfather of Green Bay, he doesn't. But that's not, it wasn't supposed to be scary. I meant it as a comedy. Thank you, JB. Rich Locasio, WRJN's own Rich Locasio says, Ernest Scared Stupid, an Army of Darkness. Why do I think Rich might be serious about that Ernest movie?
I've never seen the Ernest movies, so.
They're not scary. They're scary because it's the Hey Vern guy. Hey Vern. He made a whole bunch of bad movies. But they're probably funny if you're in the right mood, I guess. children's book illustrator Rob Momartz says Halloween and Halloween 2, the originals. Okay, there you go. Another franchise guy for you, Conrad. My pal Tim Baker says Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein and the original Frankenstein. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein is one of those, it was like a scary, funny movie before they really became a thing. But a good film. Richard Vargas on social media says Young Frankenstein and John Carpenter's The Thing. I always forget about The Thing. That's a really scary movie.
You know, it's a terrifying movie. The Human Centipede. Have you ever seen that or heard about it?
No. What is it?
Do not. Do not.
Why? Is it just gory?
It's
got to be.
Imagine a centipede.
Yeah.
Now imagine...
That's all. You had me at centipede. I'm scared to death of centipedes.
Now imagine bodies forming in the shape of a centipede.
So it's like The Substance with Demi Moore, almost.
It's a really, really, really creepy movie. I had nightmares from that movie.
I don't want to see it. Director, writer, producer John Roach will be here at 6:35, folks. We're going to tell you where you can see his outstanding documentary, A Road at Night. And 7:20, Carl Sorecki from Door County Ghost Trolley Tours joins us. Carl is a lot of fun and will tell us some great ghost stories about Door County. I love it. Every time I go to Door County, I just want to move there. And it's weird because I think that means I'm getting older. Like, I always liked it, but I would never go, oh, I got to move to Door County. But it's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
414, Edward says The Fog and the original Halloween. Adrian Barbeau, busty as ever, radio host, and Antonio Bay. Edward. A lot of people have been dropping comments. Was that Edward the other night that talked about the lesbian action in one of those movies? I'm like, what is happening here?
I don't know.
Listen, folks, we'll talk about sex more on the show. Maybe the audience, the couch potatoes are undersexed, or is it oversexed? I don't know. We'll try to cover sex more. Eliza from Green Bay, she's in the, it's a 513. I think that's Cincinnati.
That's Eliza Cussenhart.
Oh, that's Eliza.
Yeah.
Could be an Australian area code. She says Practical Magic and Sleepy Hollow. I've never seen Practical Magic. Sleepy Hollow is pretty creepy, though. And she says, this is Eliza, and I'm right. What does that mean?
That she's right about the films.
Well,
that's the only options.
I'm not going to fight you, Eliza. Probably lose anyway. Awesome stuff. Thank you, Eliza, for the text. Chris from the 608 says, Ober Gatlinburg. That's a Tennessee text for Conrad, I think.
Ober Gatlinburg.
Yeah. You make anything of that?
I don't know. I'm going there, I guess.
You might have to Google it. Maybe Chris is trying to direct you to a fun attraction. 608, Tyler says, Halloween double feature, The Witch with Anna Taylor-Joy and The Wicker Man with the original Sneaky Scary. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. I just looked it up. That's the resort I went to when I was younger.
Oh, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
How did he know that?
I don't know. Maybe it's famous.
Or maybe, yeah, maybe. 414, Jack says, I'm a bit of a sci-fi buff, so my favorite horror movie choices would be The First Alien and Pitch Black with Vin Diesel. First Alien. Forgot about The First Alien. Great movie. Eliza again says, actually, The Babadook, Australian, so I have not seen that. Let's Google that one too, Con. All right, we'll get to more of your text later. John Roach is going to be here after the news. His documentary, A Road at Night, is so great. We're going to tell you where you can see it. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite. So glad you're with me on the Civic Media Radio Network.
From Denmark to De Pere, this is 97.9 WGBW.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In South Korea, the key trade meeting between President Trump and China's President Xi is now just hours away. ABC's Selena Wang says both will tackle some sticking points.
The first key point is around rare earth minerals. The U.S. is hoping that China will delay its expansion of export controls on these critical materials that are necessary for making everything from smartphones to AI systems to cars. The second point is around tariffs, of course. This trade truce between these two countries, it is is set to expire on November 10th. So the question is, will that truce be extended? Will the countries lower tariffs on each other?
As the government shutdown drags on, federal food assistance programs like SNAP are set to run out of money this Saturday. One widow from Pennsylvania says she'll have to choose to buy food or pay her electric bill. Hurricane Melissa, now a Category 1, churning across the Bahamas after raking Cuba overnight. Damage still being assessed in Jamaica. This is ABC News.
The Bucks beat the Knicks. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with Sports NBA. The Bucks with a win at home, 121-111 over the New York Knicks. Another big night for Giannis Antetokounmpo, leading with 37 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. NFL, the Packers and the Steelers game drew 28 million viewers, one of the highest-rated games in the history of Sunday Night Football. So what did it mean for Jordan Love to have such a strong performance against Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I think it's pretty meaningful. And I think that speaks also to the respect that we have for a guy like Aaron Rodgers and the guys that were here and were able to witness and see how he would perform, not only on the Sundays, but also in practice and all that. But yeah, Jordan's shown a ton of growth. We have a ton of confidence in him, and I thought he played a complete game.
That's Packers head coach Matt LaFleur with Sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Here's one of Pete's picks. Truth and Treason is a really good film set in World War II Germany. The plot sees Helmuth, a teenage boy, watch his Jewish friend taken away by the Nazis, which changes his outlook on Hitler's Germany. After hearing messages from around the world on an old radio conflicting what he hears at home, Helmuth spreads the word covertly at night until he is caught. The film is based on a true story, and the parallels to what is happening currently in America are undeniable. The story is inspiring and the lead character courageous. Definitely worth a look. Even if you happen to see a movie that does not feature Paul Rudd in the cast, he's convincing other actors to take roles. Bobby Cannavale said it was Rudd who convinced him to take his role in Only Murders in the Building for season 5. The Tony Award-winning Cannavale plays talking corpse Nicky Cacciamilio, a mobster who gets whacked. Season 5 comes to a close Tuesday night, October 28th. I have to check out that show. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A partly cloudy sky tonight, lows in the mid-30s. And for tomorrow, partly sunny, highs into the low 50s. On Friday, a slight chance of showers, high within a few degrees of 50. Dry and a little warmer this weekend. Currently 51 degrees.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. I know where to find support.
Learn more at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Daylight saving time ends this weekend. Turn your clocks back 1 hour and take the extra time to replace the batteries in your smoke detectors, too. A message from your local Civic Media radio station.
I was stuck.
Hey, this is Jamie McShane, and you're listening to Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back. Another great show. Jamie McShane from Task. If you haven't seen Task yet, folks, check it out. Very good show on HBO. He plays the main bad guy, and he's excellent. Great cast, great writing by the same creator of Mayor from Easttown. Another great show. All right, so our question of the night, folks, is what is your Halloween double feature? Give me a couple scary movies you'd like to watch back-to-back on a rainy, cold, windy Halloween night. It's just a couple days away. Right now, we are going to turn our attention, though, to a great documentary and a really good guy who is behind that documentary. He's a very accomplished man of production and writing and all kinds of great showbiz achievements he's had the pleasure of doing throughout his career. God, this is really awkward, Conrad. I can't talk tonight. What is the matter with me?
It's okay. You got it. I believe in you.
So drunk. It's my pleasure to welcome Mr. John Roach back to Nightlight. Hey, buddy.
Hey, Pete. How are you? Good to see
I'm
you.
not drunk. I'm buzzed at the moment. Trust me, John. I take this seriously.
Hey, and whatever gets you where you need to go. By the way, mine are non-traditional. Free Solo and Blue Velvet, because that Cliff Haunts My Dreams, that film scared the living hell out of me, Free Solo. And then Dennis Hopper Haunts My Dreams. And then a more traditional horror film, Midsummer, the Norwegian film.
I still have not seen that. I hear it's outstanding.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's every frame is unsettling.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on my list. I got to check that out. They played that. I think that was at the Wisconsin Film Festival as one of their features about, 5 or 6 years ago. And it looked really good.
Given the amount of Norwegians in Wisconsin, that was a smart play.
Exactly. And you have a connection to Blue Velvet because you co-wrote The Straight Story with Mary Sweeney, a David Lynch film, an outstanding David Lynch film.
Yeah.
So great. So, and I think I told you this last time you were here, John. I saw Blue Velvet. I was probably 17 or 18, and I was like, the whole time I'm like, I'm not sure I'm supposed to be watching this. It was like as a kid from a small town or a small neighborhood, I was like, I couldn't even believe what I was watching. Great movie.
Well,
though.
just Dennis Hopper makes your skin crawl in that film.
Yeah, there's great humor. Like I remember Laura Dern had some great lines too, when she's like, "I'll beep the horn 3 times. I'll go 1, 2."
Yeah,
just that great David Lynch humor.
So how you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's great to have you here, John. And any chance I get to talk about your documentary, A Road at Night, is an absolute thrill because it's such a good film.
Pete.
You're very welcome. And I was surprised and happy it's still doing the festival circuit. When I saw it was going to be at Driftless, I got kind of excited. I thought, oh, great, I can have John back on the show. So that's a great venue.
Yeah, we got some good news, and I'm going to have to be a little veiled about it. But we are going to be doing a theatrical run in Madison at
great.
a famous Wisconsin cinema chain. I have to be... I don't know what I'm supposed to say and what I'm not supposed to say. So I don't want to, as they say, screw the pooch. And so, but we are going to be opening in Madison for a week or two, maybe longer. And then they're also looking at Milwaukee and Chicago because obviously there's a big Badger contingent in Milwaukee and Chicago, because Howard Moore's from Chicago, Mike Finley's from Chicago, Tracy Webster's from Chicago. A lot of the key players in the film are from there. And Howard was a coach in Chicago at UIC for a while.
Yeah.
And so we will have some sort of formal announcement, I suspect, coming in the next couple of weeks, which is great because we had a private screening at Union South about a year ago, and then we were lucky enough to be in the Wisconsin Film Festival. And if I may brag on my cohorts, we won the audience favorite award for the festival. So we'll probably fly one of those little fleur-de-lis on our posters.
Yeah, nice.
But and there's a lot of good local stuff there. So to come away with that was pretty good. And then, the folks at Driftless reached out to us, which I was thrilled because, we worked on the project for 3 years, but the wheels of distribution roll slowly. So we did reach out to the big streamers and CAA and, the Hollywood Game. And we were told there's about a 3-year backlog now in documentaries for the streamers.
Wow.
And we were a humble piece. We weren't episodic. It wasn't sudden. Although it was about a crime, it wasn't a lurid whodunit,
right.
Female in danger type, series, which they love.
Right.
And so, but I think after the theatrical run, which we've been waiting to do that first before we we're going to go to Tubi or YouTube supported advertising, whatever, and throw it out there wide with few impediments to see it, because at the root of it all is we want to help the Moore family, but also we want what happened to them to happen to fewer people. And there is a component of the greater good in the piece, which is true of a lot of documentaries.
Oh, yeah, totally. So, John, let's talk about that. For those who may have missed your previous appearances here, tell us a little bit about, we talked about Howard Moore, but what is the movie about? Just give us a background.
Sure. So Howard Moore is one of the most beloved University of Wisconsin athletes ever. He was not a big star, but he was a remarkable leader. He had an electric personality, as did his wife, Jennifer. Howard did a stint as an assistant at Wisconsin under Bo Ryan, got a head job at UIC, lost that job, came back to work for Greg Gard and was recruiting for him. Howard recruited Frank Kaminsky and Mike Finley for Wisconsin. He recruited Finley when he was a player and really leaned on the Chicago ties. And then as an assistant coach, he was on Frank Kaminsky very early. And for folks who don't know sports, which this is much more than a sports doc, Frank Kaminsky was the NCAA Basketball Player of the Year in 2016, 2015.
2015, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was during Wisconsin's 2 Final Four runs. And Howard and his wife, while Howard was an assistant, and their 2 children were taking Memorial Day weekend of 2019 to go visit Jennifer Moore's mother in Detroit. Jennifer's from Detroit, but came to Wisconsin and got in the engineering school. A young woman of color in the engineering school at Wisconsin in the 90s was a rare bird indeed. And so they were past Chicago and just outside Ann Arbor. They were hit head on by a drunk driver, a young woman named Samantha Winchester, going the wrong way on what was effectively an interstate. And it was a turn, so there was very little room to react. Jennifer was driving. And sadly, both Jennifer and their daughter Jaden lost their lives in as a horrific way, as you can imagine, because the vehicle was engulfed in flames. Again, there's some beauty and a lot of humor, by the way, and a lot of hope in the piece, but the actual accident is just again, the stuff of nightmares. And then Howard had a setback in recovery that was devastating. So, but it's also about teammates, the way his teammates came from all over the country to that hospital room and rallied behind Howard, and assistant coaches and, the entire UW athletic staff. They were all there to offer consolation and help to the Moore family. And this is about Howard's journey back. And it's, I said very early on, Pete, when I was, it's a weird thing to tell people what your movie's about, right? Because really at the heart of it, I'd rather have the people watching the movie determine what it's about for themselves. I hate, just as someone who's dabbled in screenwriting, I hate dialogue that illuminates plot, right?
Right.
I don't like dialogue that says, oh, so we're doing this and we're going to do that. And It's like shortcutting, right? And likewise, I don't want to say too much about the film, because I think every film should be an exercise in discovery, and the audience, each member of the audience, going on their own journey through the story, right? And there's some cryptic things in it early on and all. So I don't want to say too much, but in the early goings, I said, well, even though this has to do with basketball players at the University of Wisconsin, it's really not a sports documentary.
Right.
And at first I said it's a documentary about drunk driving, and then I realized it's not even that. It's about how random life can be, and sometimes random and awful.
Right.
And that all of us who are healthy and whose children are healthy and stuff like that, it just makes you grateful that something like what happened to the Moors has not been visited upon you. And so a lot of people said they called their relatives after the film, and in a perverse way, almost, it made them grateful, and also obviously just felt great compassion for the Moors.
You're right, John. My guest is John Roach. He is the director of the film A Road at Night, a great documentary about Howard and Jennifer Moore and their family. And you're absolutely right, John. But the tragedy in it brings out this beauty. Like you said, teammates rallied around him and flew to his hospital room.
And there's humor. Teammates never miss a chance to give each other crap.
Right.
And, there is humor in the ramp up as well, some big belly laughs. So, I always say a good film will make you laugh, cry, and think.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. The first part of the film, too, is this great, you just watch this and you're like, this guy who I think you say at one point in the movie only scored 100 points in his whole career.
Right.
And was not a big star in the team, but he had an electric personality. People were drawn to him. Yep. And he went to bat for Frank Kaminsky. And I think it was Greg Gard that said, if you push for Kaminsky, Coach Ryan's going to fire you.
Yeah,
he did it anyway.
Yeah,
he was beloved. And his teammates, 20 years later, after they were teammates, flew to be with him after the accident. That says a lot about a person. So you have all of these uplifting, inspirational things that happen after this tragedy. That, to me, is the beauty of the film.
I can tell you a couple of things that aren't in the film, but show what happened. So one of Howard's teammates was an athlete named Moselle Peterson. Howard is bedridden. He is in a striker bed. If anyone knows what a striker bed is, you see him in hospitals to help turn patients over and everything. Moselle Peterson works for Stryker Bed and had one delivered to the Moore's house. While we were shooting interviews with Howard's mother, father, and his brother, a big semi truck pulls into their driveway and unloads a huge container carton, slides it down with all this mechanical stuff, and they open it up, and it's a hyperbaric chamber that Michael Finley had delivered to the house because with the injuries that Howard had after the accident, hyperbaric chambers force oxygen into your cells and help revitalize them. And Howard was having to get in a van and go down onto campus at the University of Wisconsin, which is a production with his condition. And Mike Finley, God bless him, just said, well, enough of that, and had it delivered to the house. I mean, that's just gobsmacking. It's like, my God.
That's amazing. John, let's pick up right there. We got to do a really short break, and then we'll come back and talk more about A Road at Night. The director, John Roach, is here, and we'll tell you where you can see it next. It's Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Paradise, I'll bring it to your knees. It's a gospel kind of feeling, a touch of Georgia slide.
As Wisconsin as a fish fry on a Friday night. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
This October, there's only one place to be in the heart of Green Bay Stadium District, and that's at Badger State Brewing. Tailgate every home game this season with fresh craft beer and signature brew tales like Brewski Light American Lager, a tasty light lager with a mild bready aroma and soft attenuation. Planning a holiday party, wedding, or a big gathering? Check out the Barrel House, a beautiful 7,500 square foot event space with handcrafted decor and a full-service bar. Book now at BadgerStateBrewing.com.
If you're looking for a volunteer opportunity to pad that resume, or maybe you just like helping out, I got just the event for you. It's Amanda with another new Wisco 411. And Wonders by Women is hosting a student-led volunteer opportunity for youth in the Green Bay area to help support the Cart Auxiliary, a local nonprofit animal rescue, by providing them with toys as well as other items. Your participating in this event means you'll be making a variety of toys, fabric tug bones for dogs, cats, and other critters. So check it out. Sign up today. Head to WGBW.FM and click events.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
Daylight saving time ends this weekend. Don't forget to set your clocks back 1 hour before you go to bed Saturday night. Fall back and enjoy an extra hour of rest. A message from your local Civic Media radio station. You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website, civicmedia.us.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Small businesses are the heart of America. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, SCORE has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses. For free, find a mentor.
Welcome back. This is Nite Lite. I am Pete Schwaba. Great to have you with me. It's a beautiful Wednesday night here in downtown Green Bay and all over the state of Wisconsin, which is where we are broadcasting. So wherever you're joining us from, it's great to have you. I'm talking with John Roach, a guy who's had just a really interesting career, and his latest project is A Road at Night. I saw it. I had the opportunity to interview John on PBS Wisconsin on Director's Cut, and first learned of this film there, and I've gotten to know John since, and I just love this movie, and I recommend if you're in the Driftless area, is it November 6th, John?
It's November 8th, Saturday night, November 8th.
November 8th, okay.
Right.
Check out this film.
It's at the Mineral Point. Driftless area is just, I'm a sucker for that part. I baled hay on a farm in Barneveld in high school to get in shape for football for 3 summers. And that's at the gateway to the Driftless area. And
wouldn't it have been easier just not to play football?
Yeah, I played before they even had weights.
So you had to do something, yeah.
Yeah, but they contacted us, thankfully, and it's in the Mineral Point Opera House. We were at 2 other film festivals after the Madison Film Festival, the Beloit Film Festival and the Dubuque Film Festival, and they were really kind of test screenings. But, these small towns and their film festivals, it's the most endearing thing. Yeah. Dubuque is a remarkably cool town, and they screened our film in the Opera House there. And it's like, man, if this place could talk. Yeah. And likewise with Mineral Point, there was that era where everyone had an opera house. And it's timely because there'll be a little buzz from the Driftless Film Festival. And then my partners on the film, George Hamill, Tim Valentine, and Heather Garrison, we've all been slogging along trying to figure out this distribution thing. And George is a wonderful philanthropist for the University of Wisconsin. He helped build the new music school. And he served on the Com Arts board with Sean Hanisch. And Sean had Just a Bit Outside, which was a great local doc and had a great run in Milwaukee. It was about the 82 Brewers, timely for this year for the Brewers run.
Definitely.
And so he came up with a really good little, more than little, regional run. And what's interesting is that these major theater chains, especially with the advent of streaming, COVID took their legs out from beneath them, but they're more open now to running what Roger Ebert used to call wood-burning cinema, local films. And so Sean's been helping, and his partner Kelly Call, they've been helping us out. They distributed the Packer movie about the Packer fans in Japan.
Yeah, no Packers, no life. Oh, sure.
Right, and I was with that director on your show.
Oh, Craig Benzine, that's
ahead
right.
of the
Yeah.
film festival. Yeah,
Sure.
he's a great guy.
Great guy.
So Sean is helping us get that together, so it's going to be in February or March. I don't know what the date is, and
I really hope people get to see this, John. It's such a great film. And my last question for you about this, and I hope can we keep you for a few minutes through the news?
Of course.
Okay.
Pete, I feel like I'm having Malort with you at the corner bar.
Well, I was joking about being drunk before, but that would be fun. That would be fun to have a beer with you, John.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. How did you, I'm sure you heard about the accident. You knew who Howard Moore was, but what was it? Or how did you find this project in terms of, like, a documentary can take minimum maybe 2 years of your life, but
Sure.
probably more. What made you decide to throw yourself into this particular project?
Well, it's friendship. Tim Valentine, who represented Bo Ryan, Paul Christ, he represents Greg Gard as an attorney, and he's a dear friend. Our kids played basketball together. Our wives are friends. We're just buddies. We were separated at birth. So Tim and George are good friends. And one of the most awful things about what happened to the Moore family is it happened to them right before COVID. So he had this terrible accident and incredibly challenging health issues. And the whole world was dark for 2 years, and COVID sucked all the oxygen out of the air, almost literally. And when people came back, George Hamill, who's an avid Wisconsin fan, said to Tim, when people started getting together, he said, "How is Howard?" And Tim, God bless him, he has been doing pro bono legal work for the Moores for 5 years to help them with the incredible amount of stuff that happens when you have someone as egregiously injured as Howard. And there's estates for Jennifer, and it was just overwhelming. And so Tim told George that Howard was in a very challenging condition. And George said immediately, well, we have to do something. And then we have to communicate this to the university community and Wisconsin community at large. And so then Tim said, let's call Rochi. So Tim and George came to me and I said, well, first of all, this isn't a 4-minute fundraising video. I think this is a doc. And I, Pete, I did a show in Chicago called The Sports Writers on TV, which was 4 guys smoking cigars around a table.
Great
and it was
show.
a little bit of a, pioneered sports talk, which is kind of not that great of a claim to fame. But one thing I learned with that show is that sports is at its best when it transcends sports.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson and AIDS. And so this story, even though sports is kind of the launching pad is much bigger. And so I knew that it would be there were a lot of elements there. And then we were motivated to help Howard. Very simply, the Moores needed help.
Very well said, John. And the project is outstanding. It's a great film. We're going to keep John, and I'm going to ask John when we come back about that trend-setting show he just mentioned, the Sports Writers on TV. We'll do that when we come back, and we'll remind you where you can see A Road at Night. That's all in Act 2 after intermission here as we cut to the news. This is Pete Schwaba and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Radio Network.
It's too late to turn back now. I believe I'm falling in love.
Oh my God, I love your music.
Local news and timeless hits. WGBW, Denmark, Green Bay.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. The former Illinois sheriff's deputy charged in the 2024 killing of 34-year-old Sonia Massey after she called 911 has been found guilty of second-degree murder. Sonia's father, James Wilburn, had hoped for a first-degree conviction.
I know that there'll be justice for Sean Grayson, and it might not be in this world, but it'll be in the next one.
Deputy Grayson could now face a sentence of up to 20 years in prison. Massive destruction in Jamaica in the wake of Melissa, the most powerful hurricane ever recorded on the island. The government shutdown bringing a looming crisis for Americans who depend on food aid. Their SNAP benefits are still scheduled to run out Saturday. Hours from now in South Korea, President Trump to meet with Chinese leader Xi. On the table, President Trump's tariffs on Chinese goods, China's restrictions on the export of rare earths, and stopping the flow of fentanyl. The Federal Reserve voted to cut interest rates today by 0.25 percentage point. This is ABC News. Layoffs are underway at Paramount, affecting about 2,000 employees. Competition is revving up in San Francisco as another self-driving taxi company enters the market.
Uber announcing San Francisco and the Bay Area will be its first region for its next-generation autonomous robotaxi program. The robotaxis are set to launch next year, and it's a partnership with a self-driving tech company called Nuro and the EV company Lucid. Already, robotaxis from companies like Waymo fill the streets of San Francisco. In Uber's case, Lucid is making an Uber-exclusive robotaxi vehicle. Uber is aiming to deploy 20,000 of the vehicles in multiple cities in the next 6 years. Alex Stone, ABC News.
A small rescue helicopter trying to check on the welfare of tourists on Mount Everest crashed while landing. Operator Altitude Air says that the pilot survived and no one else was on board. It is not clear why the tourists needed a helicopter. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Teachers are diverse, skilled leaders, innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Teaching shapes lives. Are you ready? Explore teaching at teach.org, supported by the U.S. Department of Education and 1 million teachers of color.
Good news! You get an extra hour this weekend. Daylight saving time ends, so remember to turn your clocks back 1 hour before you go to bed Saturday night. Fall back, sleep in, and start your Sunday refreshed. A message from your local Civic Media radio station.
The Bucks knock off the Knicks. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Bucks were down by 12 at the half and came back to beat the Knicks at Fiserv Forum, 121-111. Giannis with 37 points. Ryan Rollins, a career-high 25 from Milwaukee. But after the game, Doc Rivers said what he really liked was the defense by Rollins and Kyle Kuzma.
It's what we have to do. You know, our whole parts is what makes us team really good. I thought the second half, just the effort defensively by everyone, starting with Ryan guarding Brunson for most of the night, got tons of deflections, got his hands on the ball, got a couple of steals. Kuz guarding Karl Anthony Towns. That's as good as you can get.
So the Bucks host the Golden State Warriors tomorrow night, tip-off time at 7 p.m. Baseball, a big night for the Blue Jays. They jumped out to an early lead, beat the Dodgers in L.A. 6-2 to tie the World Series, up 2 games apiece. Game 5 of the Fall Classic tonight at Dodger Stadium with Sports on Mike Clemens.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A partly cloudy sky tonight, lows in the mid-30s. And for tomorrow, partly sunny, highs into the low 50s. On Friday, a slight chance of showers, high within a few degrees of 50. Dry and a little warmer this weekend. Currently 49 degrees.
Is getting vaccinated on your to-do list? We can help you check that off. You've got this. Yes, you do. See how we've got you at yougotthis.usaging.org. A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by US Aging.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Missed your favorite show live on air? It's easy to find what you enjoy wherever you listen to podcasts, including Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And we're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app.
Broadcasting live from the Civic Media Studios in Green Bay, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba, your inside source on everything entertainment from Wisconsin to Hollywood. And now, a guy who still likes to build a fort, Pete Schwaba.
Welcome back to Nite Lite. We kick off Act 2 here. I just saw that it's Winona Ryder's birthday.
Yeah.
You know, she has a connection to Marinette.
Oh, whoa.
Marinette has more infamous and weird connections to stardom or people of note. It's really strange. But her grandmother lived there and lived in the house that used to be my dad's law office.
Whoa,
really
interesting.
Weird. Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell's daughter got arrested there several months ago doing drugs. Eugene Hasenfuss for the CIA was arrested. All kinds of fun stuff. Great people from Marinette. Some really fun people, too, though. Producer Arthur Gardner, who created F Troop, and the Rifleman. Marinette's on the map, baby. It's a fun night here at Nite Lite, folks. We're kicking off Act 2. John Roach is my guest at the moment. We'll be back to John in just a minute. Just a quick recap here on the show. Carl Surecki will be here at 7:20. He is the chief spooky storyteller in Door County, and he gives Door County ghost trolley tours. I might actually take one on Saturday. They're probably all booked up, but I'll just hitchhike or something. But we'll figure something out. Carl will be here at 7:20. Always fun to talk to Carl, and he's got some really outstanding stories. So that's coming up. And our question of the night, as we get closer to Halloween, what is your Halloween double feature? I will say that ever since I moved back here to Wisconsin, when my kids were still trick-or-treating, we had horrible weather. It was rain and wind. And it just seems like the minute they stopped trick-or-treating, we've had great falls for like the last 5 years. So I equate Halloween with bad weather and wanting to be indoors. So what is your double feature, your scary movie double feature? I say Rear Window and The Shining. Conrad says The Wayans Brothers.
It's a haunted house and a haunted house too.
What did those pull on Rotten Tomatoes? I'm just curious. You ever look that up?
I'll have to look that up.
Go to the Google. So yeah, lots of great stuff here. So let us know what your answer is. Always looking for a new scary movie to watch too. I also recapped the movie A House of Dynamite, which I saw. I finally finished it today. I watched it in 2 sittings, which I don't like to do, but a pretty good movie from Catherine Bigelow. Good thriller. What are we looking at?
I want you to just take one guess.
9%.
You're really close, actually. So the first one is 10%.
Wow.
And the second one, 8%.
So they couldn't quite achieve the success of the first one. That's very often the case with sequels. All right, Carl Surecki, Ghost Stories at 7:20. Let's get back to our guest, John Roach, who made the outstanding documentary, A Road at Night. We were talking about that as we closed the first hour. And just a quick reminder, John, it's November 8th, Saturday night at the Mineral Point Opera House. You can see this movie at the Driftless Film Festival. It's a great venue. I've been there before. It's absolutely beautiful. And break a leg. It sounds fun. It's going to be a fun
so
night.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
go
lucky
ahead,
to be
John.
a part of it.
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny. I remember when you guys, I think it was during the Wisconsin Film Festival on opening night, maybe 5 years ago, you guys made a pitch or an announcement to the studio audience, the audience that was there for opening night. I remember talking about Howard Moore. I'm almost sure. Does that ring a bell? Because I thought that's what there was.
I don't think it was me. It might have been someone else.
It might have been the guys you were involved with. It wasn't a movie yet.
Well
it was but it's really great to see that it happened. So keep us posted too on when we can stream it at home, because I think everybody
it will be coming on the heels of the theatrical run in Madison, hopefully Milwaukee as well. I mean, depending on how it does, it could go a little wider in the state.
Yeah, absolutely. So the last few times you've been here, John, I feel like we've run out of time. We might have touched on the sports writers on TV, but like you've had a really interesting career. In addition to A Road at Night, you co-wrote was it The or A Straight Story? It's slipping my mind at the moment. The Straight Story with Mary Sweeney, directed by David Lynch. Great movie. And I rewatched it the last time before you were on the show when I was in Madison and you came into the studio. Such a great movie. I'm kind of in awe of you that you've tried these different things and been successful at all of them. But the first thing, the sports writers on TV in the 80s on Chicago television with these 4 columnists, as you said, they were chomping cigars and they had fedoras on. It was a dark room with newspapers on the desk and they were just talking sports. That was kind of the first time I had ever seen that format. And I want to say it was pre-sports radio, maybe on some level an inspiration for sports radio. But my question for you is, where did you get the idea for that? Was there inspiration before that?
Well, so it was actually a radio show on WGN. I had just started working at WLS Television in Chicago. We were commuting back and forth from Madison, and I would come in on Sunday nights from Madison I was working on a show called AM Chicago, which was a morning talk show.
Oh, yeah.
And I heard these guys talking on WGN radio. It was Bill Gleason, Bill Joust, Ben Bentley, and I can't remember the other guy. He was from the Sun-Times.
Rick Tellender.
But no, it was before Rick. I added Rick,
Okay.
thankfully.
For youth?
Yeah. Well, I said he's the only guy. I said we need someone on the show who doesn't have a prostate problem. So anyhow, I did a piece for a magazine show at WLS, essentially as a pilot, and they smoked cigars. I tried to shoot it as cinematically as possible. Pitched WLS, they waved it off. Then I moved on to work with Steve Dahl and Gary Meyer, but on a TV show. But I kept developing this show and finally got WFLD Chicago to run it, and it ran for about 50 episodes. They canceled it, and we got picked up right away by a thing called Sports Channel, which was in the early rumblings of cable. And all of a sudden we were on all over the country. A guy named Jim Corno became our godfather, and he just pushed it to all the other sports regionals that were up and coming. I said we were the best rain delay programming on cable. And it just became a cult hit. David Letterman talked about it. We were in the New York Times. Much to my brother's chagrin, I had my picture in Sports Illustrated, and all my 3 Irish brothers said, "Well, you're the worst athlete in the family. How can that happen?" And just as an aside, I don't want to seem, too self-serving, but much to my surprise, The Straight Story was named as one of the top 300 films of all time by Rotten Tomatoes last month.
Wow.
Which just blew me away, especially because some of the films after us on the list are like, no, that can't be. But still, that's been a wonderful, quiet little gem. But
it is
anyhow,
a gem.
But the sports writers, they became the fodder for the Second City sketch, "De Bears, De Bulls," that was based upon the sports writers show.
The super fans, yeah,
right.
Wow.
And when those guys were in at Second City, and then they took that with them to Saturday Night Live, and 2 of the guys in the sketch, regulars, were Chris Farley, who's a Madison guy who played football with my brothers, and I knew him, and George Wendt, who I worked with when he was at Second City, and then he went on, obviously, to do remarkably well, and a tremendous guy. But all these little, it's all these little pathways are
like a multiplier.
Well, and I'm at the age where you start looking back and going, man, I can't believe I worked that hard. I'm tired thinking about it.
That's great.
But I'll tell you, Road at Night, going back to that, it's just, I just hope a lot of people get to see it.
You know what, John, you've had so much success with sports in Chicago and Madison. You're a Madison kid through and through.
Yeah.
You're the guy that should have made this movie. So whatever it was you did, it worked. It's great. If I could just ask you one more question.
No, go ahead.
About David Lynch and the Straight Story. Did you see Mulholland Drive?
Yeah, actually, my writing partner, Mary Sweeney, who brought me into the project, she did a special screening of Mulholland Drive at the Union Theater down in Madison. So I saw it very early on. And then I said, wow, Mayor, that was confusing, exciting, frightening, funny, and it will haunt my dreams. And she goes, oh, that's great. Why don't you call Dave and tell him? And I knew Dave. I worked with him a lot. So I called him up and I said, Dave, it was confusing, frightening, funny, disturbing, and sweet. And he goes, oh, John, thank you. He was such a, God bless him. He was such a sweet guy, a very sweet man.
Incredible. And the last time Mary Sweeney was at UW Cinematheque, I think it was just like 4 or 5 months ago.
Right,
and she did a Q&A. I was doing my show in Madison, and I was going to go over there, but I would have gotten there. I know it was standing room only because she's so interesting to listen to. But I would have asked her, and I'll ask you, what in the heck was going on with the end of Mulholland Drive? And I understand that David Lynch wanted to keep it kind of vague and have people draw their own interpretations, but what did you think was going on there?
Well, I think you have to start with the fact that David Lynch makes films. He made films at a different level. I feel like they're dreamscapes.
Yeah.
Right? And they're more about our subconscious minds. He's the most non-literal film director.
Yeah.
He's the least on the nose of anyone who ever made a film. Right?
Well said.
And yet there's some beauty and artfulness. One of the things I love about him is Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive. You can't tell when it happened or where it happened. That it's hard to put a date on it, a time. So it just drifts out there in this space that is undefined, right? But no, I mean, you're asking me to explain the end of Mulholland Drive. That's not going to happen.
Well, just because you were closer to him than any of us.
Yeah.
Well, even you can't,
Sure, no.
Yeah.
I think the best explanation, I think it's for you to decide.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I've heard more
Isn't
than
that,
anything. Yeah.
I think Dave took everyone on a journey in all his movies, but he never mandated how you should think or feel or solve his movies, whatever it might be, right? And I think so much of what he did was he was a very, very, very good filmmaker. I saw him crawl under a dolly and fix it while we were doing The Straight Story.
Oh, wow.
He was a graduate of the American Film Institute. He's a great, great craftsman. But I feel in his screenwriting and directing, it's almost like visual jazz.
That's great.
It's unstructured in a genre that so many people want it to be exactly structured and explain everything to me. And David was the antithesis of that. He was a true artist, and his passing was just a gut punch.
Well, the fact that he could do that within the studio system is really pretty incredible.
Oh my God. You are so right, Pete. I mean, you know that you've had, you've worked in the biz and you've worked out there, and how he got away with what he did is jaw-dropping.
I remember notes that my partner and I would get on a script from MGM or Warner Brothers or whatever, and I'm like, what on earth? And to think about what David Lynch was able to accomplish within that system, it is mind-boggling. John, thank you so much. Good luck with the screening at Driftless. It's a great
Pete.
film, and keep us
It's
posted.
always great talking to you, man. And
likewise.
We have yet to have that beer at the rail, and we have to.
We'll do it. I'll be back in Madison soon. Hey, we're having a big screening there December 4th. I'll text you and give you the
call me. Yeah, please let me know.
You got it. All right. Thanks, John.
Thanks so much, Pete.
Anytime. John Roach, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye-bye.
Check out A Road at Night as soon as you can. We'll keep you posted as to where you can stream it. And if you're in the Driftless area, check out A Road at Night on November 8th at the Opera House there in Mineral Point. Gorgeous little place. We are coming right back with some spooky talk from a trolley driver? A scary storytelling trolley driver. How's that for creepy things? Thanksgiving stuff. Halloween stuff. We're coming right back. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
From Hobart to Bay Settlement, 97.9 WGBW.
Appleton Cigar Company on College Avenue has been serving the community for over 25 years. If you are a cigar aficionado looking for a one-of-a-kind experience, you need to check out Appleton Cigar, which boasts the largest selection of cigars north of Milwaukee with over 706 cigars to choose from in a walk-in humidor. The Cigar Lounge offers an impressive variety of spirits and cocktails that pair perfectly with a premium cigar. For the full experience, come to Appleton Cigar at 415 College Ave, Monday through Saturday, 11:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. For more information, go to appletoncigar.com.
Fox Valley Alfalfa Mill in Hilbert reminds you, the average shelf life of blood is only 42 days. There must be steady donations to meet the continuing needs of accident victims, surgery patients, and members of our armed forces. Give the gift of life. Give blood. From Fox Valley Alfalfa Mill in Hilbert, now hiring Class A CDL drivers. For your trucking and transload needs, call 920-853-3554.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Every 15 seconds, someone is diagnosed with cancer. If it's happened to you or someone you love, the American Cancer Society can help at every step of the journey. Visit cancer.org today.
This weekend, we all fall back. Daylight saving time ends and we turn our clocks back 1 hour. It's also a good time to check your smoke detectors and replace those batteries. Stay safe, stay on time. A message from your local Civic Media radio station. You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our
Werewolves of London.
Welcome back. This is Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. Halloween is just around the corner, folks. Our question of the night is, what is your Halloween double feature? It's rainy, it's windy, you're inside, you got a fire going. What two scary movies are you watching back to back? Let us know. I will read your text on the radio. Always more fun when you guys participate. Jim from Appleton in the 920 says Psycho, the Alfred Hitchcock original, and A Nightmare Before Christmas. Excellent choices. Well done, Jim. Matt from 608. Oh, Matt Rothschild. Hey, buddy. He says Bates Motel and Wait Until Dark. Oh, my God. I forgot about Wait Until Dark. That's a very scary movie. And that's a classic, as is Bates Motel. Great stuff. Thank you, Matt. We'll get to the rest of your text, but please be part of the show. Let us know your Halloween double feature. Right now, folks, I'm excited to welcome back to Nightlight a gentleman we had on last year at this time. He is the head spooky storyteller for Dork County Ghost Trolley Tours, and he joins us now over the stream, Mr. Carl Sorecki. Hey, buddy.
Hi, how are you?
It's good to have you back. How are you?
It's good to be back. It was a lot of fun last year, so I assume it will be again this year.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised. Are you not doing tours tonight? Do they not happen on Wednesdays?
Not a big night. Not a big night.
Okay.
So, this time of year, we have a different crowd in Door County, as the locals say, the newlyweds and the nearly deads. So,
whatever fills up the hotels, I guess, right?
Exactly. So we got the youngers at the end of the week. So,
yeah. All right. That's great. Well, tell us a little bit about, well, first of all, do you have a favorite scary movie? Is there a double feature you could share with us that you would like to watch?
I was thinking about it as you were running that. And, it's a scary movie, but it's not a Halloween, but The Shining, of course.
Yeah, that was mine.
Jack was fantastic. And another favorite, my wife and I stumbled on years and years ago, and I've never really heard much of it since, but it was 1964, Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte.
Oh, wow. I've never seen it.
Olivia de Havilland and Betty Davis. And Betty Davis is terrifying.
I believe that. That's awesome. Thank you, Carl. Let me ask you this, too, before we get into the trolley stuff. You're also a high school history teacher. What is more scary, at times leading people on ghost tours through beautiful Door County or teaching teenagers?
That's a fine question. Much scarier for the trolley tours, I think, because I'm responsible for life and death as we drive through the dark. And you know what? High school kids aren't that scary. They're more, if only they will engage more. And it's scary when they can't come forward. I think the little ones are the scary ones because they're all over the place.
Oh, that's a great answer. And my wife is a kindergarten teacher, so I could see what you're saying. And my daughter was in high school recently. I miss that high school energy. It's so infectious. Like when you're in a high school, and especially this time of year, you hear the band rehearsing, and there's just school spirit everywhere. I bet you absolutely love your job, and I'm sure you're great at it.
Well, it is great. It is great to be with those kids every day. And this is the spectacular time of year. You know, at the end of the school day, if the windows are open, you got the smell of the leaves, you have the whistles from football practice. And it brings me back to high school days every day. So
that's great. Well, before we jump in too much, give us a little background. Tell us how you ended up giving trolley tours, and then a little bit about what people could expect.
All right. So, 7 years ago or so, I was looking for something to do during the summer because my wife, the hardworking nurse, said, Carl, hey, if I'm working, you're working. So summers off is not an option. And I had other jobs, but I thought, well, where do I love? And Door County is the place. So I actually live south of Door County in Manitowoc. And so anyway, I started looking on job things, and there was this blurb, and it was, drive trolley, talk to people. And I'm like, this sounds wonderful. And so I sent in my application, and boom, the next day I got a call at school from AJ Frank, the owner, and he had me in for an interview, and he said, I can tell you're a good storyteller. That was in the interview. He hired me on the spot, and it's been wonderful ever since. From the scary stories to history of Door County and the rest. So it's a great job.
So when do they run? Like how often, like you mentioned summer, do they do the trolley tours and the ghost tours, or is that seasonal only leading up to Halloween?
Oh, no. So, I mean, it's pretty slow in the winter, but they still have trolley tours, wine tours and things like that. They call Winter Wonderland or Spring Blossom when people want to see that. But then hit around the end of May and early June, really start to hit the stride, and we have 14 different tours. Oh, nice. From scenic tours, as I say, history tours, to the drinking tours, wine, spirits, and brew, to sampling wine, chocolate, and cheese experience. It's just all over. The ghost tour and murder and mayhem, true crime, those run all season. It's not a Halloween specific.
But when you say all season, you mean like in the summertime you can take them too?
Absolutely. June to June 1st to November 1st, essentially.
Wow.
I mean, it's a little less than June 1st, but yeah. Yep.
Well, that's outstanding.
And,
yeah, that's great. All right. Carl Sorecki is here. He is the head spooky storyteller for the Door County Trolley Ghost Tours. We're going to hear some of those actual ghost stories when we come back. We had a lot of fun with Carl last year and had to have him back. And we'll jump into some spooky talk after the news. Let's get a quick text in here. Steve from Florida says, I have to say a winning combination for the Halloween double feature is The Shining, followed by Conrad's great uncle's famous movie debut, Freddy Krueger, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's why we changed our last name to Krieger.
So you don't make sure you don't have that DNA or whatever.
Exactly.
All right. We're coming right back after the news, folks. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Werewolves of London.
97.9 WGBW and WGBW.FM.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. The former Illinois sheriff's deputy charged in the 2024 killing of 34-year-old Sonia Massey after she called 911 has been found guilty of second-degree murder. Sonia's father, James Wilburn, had hoped for a first-degree conviction.
I know that there'll be justice for Sean Grayson, and it might not be in this world, but it'll be in the next one.
Deputy Grayson could now face a sentence of up to 20 years in prison. Massive destruction in Jamaica in the wake of Melissa, the most powerful hurricane ever recorded on the island. The government shut down, bringing a looming crisis for Americans who depend on food aid. Their SNAP benefits are still scheduled to run out Saturday. Hours from now in South Korea, President Trump to meet with Chinese leader Xi. On the table, President Trump's tariffs on Chinese goods, China's restrictions on the export of rare earths, and stopping the flow of fentanyl. The Federal Reserve voted to cut interest rates today by 0.25 percentage point. This is ABC News.
The Bucks knock off the Knicks. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Bucks were down by 12 at the half and came back to beat the Knicks at five-serve form, 121-111. Giannis with 37 points. Ryan Rollins, a career-high 25 from Milwaukee. But after the game, Doc Rivers said what he really liked was the defense by Rollins and Kyle Kuzma.
It's what we have to do. I mean, our whole parts is what makes us seem really good. I thought the second half, just the effort defensively by everyone, starting with Ryan guarding Brunson for most of the night. Got tons of deflections, got his hands on the ball, got a couple of steals. Kuz guarding Karl Anthony Towns. That's as good as you can get.
So the Bucks host the Golden State Warriors tomorrow night, tip-off time at 7 p.m. Baseball, a big night for the Blue Jays. They jumped out to an early lead, beat the Dodgers in L.A. 6-2 to tie the World Series, up 2 games apiece. Game 5 of the Fall Classic tonight at Dodger Stadium with Sports on Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Big news from the Taylor Sheridan universe. The Yellowstone creator is leaving Home, which is Paramount Plus, and migrating to NBC. In addition to Yellowstone and its many spin-offs, Sheridan has also created Lawman Bass Reeves, Tulsa King, The Mayor of Kingstown, and Lioness, just to name a few. His material will stay at Paramount Plus until his deal is up in 2028, but he can start working for NBC Universal in 2026 with a new screenplay that is headed for production. The Texas native has also written movies like Sicario, Hell or High Water, and wrote and directed 2017's Wind River, which starred Jeremy Renner and Elizabeth Olsen. According to The Hollywood Reporter, this is a big blow to Paramount, but they still have TV juggernauts Stranger Things and South Park. Maybe the only 2 other shows on TV Sheridan didn't create. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
I'm meteorologist Mace Michaels. A partly cloudy sky tonight, lows in the mid-30s. And for tomorrow, partly sunny, highs into the low 50s. On Friday, a slight chance of showers, high within a few degrees of 50. Dry and a little warmer this weekend. Right now, it's 48.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
Daylight saving time ends this weekend. Turn your clocks back 1 hour and take the extra time to replace the batteries in your smoke detectors, too. A message from your local Civic Media radio station.
Being blind doesn't look how others may think.
Very superstitious.
with me here on a Wednesday edition of Nightlight, folks. Halloween is just around the corner. This is great fall Halloween weather, too. It's a beautiful day today. A little crisp tonight. And what better way to celebrate Halloween than to talk about some ghost stories? And here to help us do that is from Door County Trolley Ghost Tours, Mr. Carl Sorecki. He is their head spooky storyteller. And he's got just great stories about this fun gig, side hustle he's done for 7 years now. Carl, it's great to have you here. Can you give us an example of some of the stories you tell?
Sure, but I got a question for you first, Pete.
Sure.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Oh, that's funny. I was going to ask you the same thing. I'm too scared to say no because I don't want to be proven wrong. I do believe in that there are spirits. I don't know that they necessarily haunt you, but I believe there's something in the air, kind of, if that's an answer that's acceptable.
I think that's a great answer. And I think that's really what sets our tour apart from a typical ghost tour, that, we don't have people jumping out from behind trees with chainsaws and, blah, blah, blah. It's not a jump scare thing. It's a connection to stories which came to us from the families to which they happened, or if they're documented in periodicals and such, or even government records, government documented ghosts, believe it or not.
Wow.
So, and they're all scary because, right, it's ghosts and it's unknown, but they're not scary ghosts. They're spirits, as you put it. There's something out there, and there's a reason they're around. Maybe we understand a little bit, probably we don't. And we kind of convey that through our stories. For instance, we have a couple of them about children. And there's one, Huey Melvin. We'll get to him, I think, a little later. He is really a star of the tour. But there's one that I think it's short shrift in a way. Little Ruthie Lundberg. Her dad ran the general store in Fish Creek, and she got tuberculosis, consumption back in the day they called it, but it was tuberculosis. It was a horrible, still is, it's around again, unfortunately, but a horrible respiratory disease, really, really painful, especially for little kids. And Ruthie went from August to December fighting this and died literally on Christmas Day. And her dad found her. And then because of the time, this was back in the it was 1901. And you didn't have undertaker. Well, you didn't have mortuaries. You had the funeral at home, and the undertaker came and measured the dead and made a coffin. And then relatives came to visit to say goodbye. And because this was a protracted disease, Ruthie's coffin was preset for her. So on Christmas Day, they put the coffin in the parlor, we call it living room today, and they had her lay there for the holidays so relatives could come and say goodbye. Now, that's the sad part. I mean, that's the death part of the story. But the ghost part is people talked about even visiting the relatives then, and every Christmas they talk about waking up at night to hearing a little girl crying, pain from the disease perhaps, and then wait on the bed that they are sleeping in her bedroom and tugging at the sheets, and people are like, oh, this is terrifying, she's haunted. But isn't it really different? I mean, this is a little 14-year-old girl, and she was taken in the blossom of life, and she doesn't know what life's about. And it seems to me she's reaching out and trying to get attention and talk to me, share with me, those kinds of stories. That, spin. Now, not every guy spins it that way, but that's my feeling of it. Because ghosts aren't just here for fun.
Right. And what you say, like the crying or the little whimpers or whatever they are, I wonder if that's just some kind of weird universe algorithm. Like it doesn't mean there's a ghost in the room, but maybe it's something you hear because her spirit is there or what. All I know is if I were a ghost, Carl, I would probably mess with people on a daily basis. I would love to do that, and I would take great pride in that.
Well, we have those too on the tour. There are the mischievous ghosts,
Yeah.
for sure. For sure.
What is your favorite Door County ghost story? Either one you tell during a tour or one you've heard. And I love that was so organic and that was real. And when I'm in Fish Creek or whatever, I don't think, oh, that stuff happened here, but now I will. That's really interesting to me.
Well, good. My favorite is what I alluded to before that, Huey Melvin. He's a little precocious lad. He's 6 years old. He got tetanus getting caught on a nail, sliding down the storm cellar door at his grandfather's. And again, this was in August, and he didn't last long. I mean, tetanus, lockjaw, a horrible disease that painfully takes you, the spasming of the muscles and whatnot. But beloved child, and his parents, they buried him in the family plot, and then they would bring gifts to him regularly. The plot is in Peninsula State Park, right across from the Weeborg campground. It's just a hidden little family plot in the woods. And to this day, people bring gifts and leave them on little Huey's, his gravesite. So there was a family from Appleton who was camping. They found the graveyard, which at that point, that was the 80s and it was overgrown. And they stumbled upon it and they found the grave, and there were still gifts from the community, the family, and they were moved. It was the second week in August, same time they would, it's Wisconsin camping, right? You go to the same place every year, you go the same time, you do the same things.
Sure.
And so they made this part of their ritual to visit Huey because he passed on their time. Well, they got rained out. And so they went to a local inn, which happened to be the Thorpe House Inn, which was in reality his grandfather's home. And they stayed in a cabin there. And at night, first night, mom, second night, mom and dad, they were visited by this light in the doorway and this vision of a little boy with his arms outstretched. Come with me kind of thing. And they, long story short, they're wondering, why is this happening? And then they figured it's Huey. It's Huey coming to see them because they didn't go to see him in the cemetery that year. And he missed them.
And you tell this story on the tour, right? Is that?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
At his house.
That's so great. My guest is Carl Surecki. He is the lead spooky storyteller for Door County Trolley Ghost Tours. Check it out, folks. Check out the whole thing. They've got all kinds of trolley tours, but we're talking about the ghost tours tonight. Carl, is there Door County is so beautiful, but it is mysterious and it can be creepy. Like there are lots of little wooded areas. I mean, is there a part in the peninsula that is the most scary to you, or a part that kind of creeps you out if you had to pick?
So interestingly, so to answer your previous question before, yes, I believe in ghosts because I have seen photographs that people take on our tours, and almost all in the same place, almost all. And that's at the Alexander Noble House. You know it. Everyone who is a regular to Door County knows, as you head down the hill into Fish Creek, it's the big white house right at the corner where you turn to go north on 42.
So like you go left and the White Gull Inn is there.
Correct.
And then you go right and you go through downtown Fish Creek.
Correct.
Whoa.
And that is probably the most haunted house in Door County.
Really?
And the property too. Now, I am not sensitive to the spirits, as but my daughter, early on in my career driving, I just took her there because she is an empath extraordinaire. And I just took her onto the property, and all of a sudden she said, Dad, we got to go. We have to leave. She had no idea why we're there. And I'm like, what do you mean? She said, I don't feel well. I feel like there's something all around me and I feel ill. And so then we left and I told her the stories. So there's a lot there. From possible haunting by, so Alexander Noble built the house, and his first wife, many think it's her that's there. His daughter, who designed the house, some think it's her that's there. The pictures I have seen are of him in a window.
Where do you see these pictures? Where are these pictures?
It's crazy because people take pictures in mirrors, and they take pictures looking at the house from the outside, looking at the windows. And I know what people will say, because who wouldn't? They're reflections of whatever's out there, but these are distinct human faces. And there are also some that, people come up and like, Carl, look. I'm like, sure, got it. But there are others I just cannot.
Carl, look, there's a silhouette of a sheriff leaning against the house with a hat on. You see those all over the place too.
Yeah.
What is the reaction? Or let me ask you this. Has there ever been an actual incident where you thought the paranormal was around on one of the tours?
Yes. At that house.
This just keeps getting better and better.
It doesn't it? I get chills thinking about it, and I lived it. So so at the house, the group goes in, and there's a docent there who gives them the whole story on the house and whatnot. And I hang out in the front by the staircase, right by the front door, which is separated from the group. And this one day, October, night, I should say, all of a sudden the door opens up, the front door. Now it's a windy day. Sure, that's it. It's a windy day. Yeah. And so this front door, which has a storm door in front of it, opens up. And I like, okay, just that. And so I go to push it closed. And as I pushed it closed, through the door into the dining room where the rest of the group is, suddenly I hear, kaboom, crash. And I'm thinking, as a trolley driver, oh no, heart attack, end of tour, this is terrible. And then I get to the door to go in, and all of a sudden I hear laughter. I'm like, oh, okay, not as bad as I figured. Come to find, the front door opened up. I go to close it. Inside this room where there are 25 people, a gentleman was standing by the table, got pushed from behind. There was no one behind him. Pushed onto the table. And then he knocked over something on the table. It fell to the floor. Then in the kitchen, there were 2 pots on a shelf that came off the shelf. No one's in the kitchen. Fell off the shelf onto the floor, and then the back door opened up.
Wow. I kind of remember you talking about that last year. That is really creepy.
Yeah.
That's great. Carl, can we keep you for a couple more minutes? We got to do a really short break here.
Surely. Thank you.
Couple more great questions. We'll talk murder and mayhem too when we come back. My guest is Carl Saracki of Door County Ghost Trolley Tours. He is their lead spooky storyteller. Rin in the 608 says, more atmospheric than scary, seance on a wet afternoon and last wave, early Peter Ware. Oh, there you go. Nice text. All right, we're coming right back, folks. It's Nightlight with Pete Schwaba.
Let me go the problem. Do all that you can.
Connecting audiences, powering brands. This is Civic Media. Learn more at civicmedia.us/advertise.
With locations in Appleton and Oshkosh, Insight Eye Care has been serving the Fox Valley since 1972, offering comprehensive eye care services. Their doctors also share a special interest in treating chronic dry eye disease, providing specialty contact lenses, and expert pediatric eye care. Find Insight Eye Care on North Sawyer Street in Oshkosh and Chain Drive in Appleton. Improving lives by improving sight with quality eye care for everyone in your family. Insight Eye Care. Visit wiinsight.com to schedule your eye exam today.
As a U.S. Navy veteran and business owner,
I've lived through moments where every detail counts, and I carry that into mass appeal. That's why I personally ensure we deliver top quality promotional materials like t-shirts, sweatshirts, and more to help your company, whether it is a local business or school, gain the visibility it needs to thrive. Your logo is our business, and we're here to make your vision come true.
Go to massappealwi.com or drop by their shop on Lineville Road, just off Highway 41.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care. This life-saving care is made possible by a global movement of supporters like you. Thank you.
Missed your favorite show live on air? It's easy to find what you enjoy wherever you listen to podcasts, including Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. And we're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app.
I was stuck in a state of panic and endless rituals. So I made the call.
Mental health care works when you make the call. Visit mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
Daylight saving time ends this weekend. Don't forget to set your clocks back 1 hour before you go to bed Saturday night. Fall back and enjoy an extra hour of rest. A message from your local Civic Media radio station.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You are never far away from your favorite radio station. We're always streaming on TuneIn and the Civic Media app. And if you missed your favorite show or game, listen to a podcast of it anytime on the app or our website.
Schwaba, this is Nite. We are just about to close things down here, but let's get through some more texts here before we get back to our guest, Carl Sorecki from Door County Ghost Trolley Tours. Paula, Conrad's mom, says, I hate Halloween movies. I do not sleep after watching them.
Same.
Oh, that's like mother, like son. That's good. Terry from the 608 says, oh, this is in reference to John Roach. When he was here, I saw A Road at Night at the film festival, back-to-back with No Packers, No Life. Both excellent films and such a juxtaposition of how life can change in the blink of an eye. Well said, Terry. Very well said. And Bridget from the 818 says, Halloween and Poltergeist. Scary. And then on the stream, Sid says The Conjuring and Halloween Town. Not familiar with that one.
Halloween Town's awesome.
Is it?
Disney movie. There's like 4.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
Lil Earth says, Conrad, you have to try the mountain roller coaster. That's,
I'm not going to the Uber Gatlinburg, but
can sneak away.
Yeah,
from
maybe
the wedding
sneak away
and,
from the wedding.
Do a water ride. Lil Irv says Sid, and Sid responds. Lil Irv also says Misery, and it's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Interestingly enough, that is my classic movie pick of the week. So check out New Wisco Weekend with Lisa Hale this weekend here on WGBW. And Sid says, Dave, nice picks. All right, tomorrow night on the show, Emerson Lehman from the WBAY Morning Show will be here. Emerson's always fun. He's going to make the popcorn pick of the week and be here in studio. And then our pal Todd Michaels will be here. He is a paranormal investigator. So we will continue this spooky talk tomorrow night. But right now we have a few more minutes with our pal Carl Sorecki from Door County Trolley Tours. He tells great ghost stories on these tours as well. Carl, tell us a little bit about the Murder Mayhem tour.
Totally different animal, right? I mean, the ghost tour is for everybody. Kids from 7 on up, I think, would be okay with it. Murder and Mayhem is what it is. 6 of the most gruesome murders in Door County history.
There have been that many gruesome Door County murders?
Oh, There have been more. We can't even fit them all in now. There's some recent ones are waiting in line for them to finish litigating before we can talk about them. So, but humans are horrible to humans. So, yeah. I mean, double murders. We have dismemberment.
Is this a term life insurance policy, or is this actual, these are actual?
Yeah,
so where are they all up in higher up in the peninsula, and you just stop at these places?
No, we go from Bailey's Harbor essentially to Sturgeon Bay, and it's a long, it's a 3-hour tour. So the minnow crashes, and we're in bad shape. Yeah, a lot of them down Sturgeon Bay way. Not a lot. About half of them are down Sturgeon Bay way, and then a couple up by us. There have been some more recent ones up Sister Bay way too.
See, I can see the Sturgeon Bay thing. You know, a couple guys in boat shoes squaring off. Next thing you know, one of them has a hatchet in his head. But like up when it gets up more beautiful and serene, that's surprising.
Yeah, hatchet. Come on, they're more sophisticated. It's a samurai sword. We have a story with. Okay. Yeah, that ends poorly.
So when is that tour? Is that year round or
year round? Year round, yes.
And is it on a day of the week, a particular day of the week, or
so? So we used to run it every day, and now it just runs. I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Do you ever worry that people that sign up for these trolley tours, like for Murder and Mayhem or the Ghost Tours, are looking for pointers?
We talk about it. Well, you get couples and you're like, we know why you're here. Yeah.
That is so creepy. Last question for you. Have you ever lost anyone on a tour, Carl, to a vampire or a werewolf or something?
Yeah. Well, I tell them when they get on that it is my job to get them to the other side. And then I amend it and say, actually, it's my job to get you back. And I have not. I won't say that it's never happened. But
that's great.
It has not happened on my tour.
All right. I feel safer knowing that. Here's a great gag I think you should do. Act like you have a flat and you're stuck in the most dark area, secluded area of Door County, and it goes on for like 10 minutes. And still people start crying. Then you go, kidding.
Well, we do. On my Murder and Mayhem, we're driving. I'm telling this long story as we're driving. And we get into the country part, and there's a cornfield, and I stop and I say, Malachi said this is where you guys get off, and he'll come pick you up.
Love that.
So,
oh, man. Yeah. I bet you're awesome at that, dude. And one of these days, I'll surprise you, and I'll bring my wife and I will be one of those couples. So we'll check it out. But thank you so much for your time. You're always a blast. And let's not wait until Halloween next year. Come back sooner, and we'll talk more about these great tours.
I would love to anytime. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. That's Carl Surecki, folks. Check out Door County Trolley Tours, and specifically the Ghost Tours or the Murder and Mayhem Tours, especially around this time of year. Sounds like a lot of fun. Would you do one of those, Con?
You know, most of the times, I'm kind of scared of that stuff, but it sounds like a lot of fun.
I think you're in good hands with Carl. I mean,
exactly.
I'm not saying being out in the dark, anything can happen. Like if you're a ghost, oh man, I'd be all over that.
I think I'd wear one of those flashlight hats if I'm out in the dark.
Absolutely. Steady Eddie from the 608 says, Pete, in the happy Halloween spirit of the late, great Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks, who always said, let's play 3. Okay. On Halloween, let's watch 3. The Invasion of the Body Snatchers, original 1956 black and white version. Love it. Number 2, Aliens, Sigourney Weaver and the actor who said, game over, man, game over. That's Bill Paxton. Made the movie memorable for me, but that was actually Aliens too, Steady Eddie. But I'm not holding that against you. Number 3, another vote for Abbott and Costello, Meet Frankenstein. Scary and funny. Could not agree more, Steady Eddie. Thank you, pal. Have a great night. John Murray from Madison checks in and says, Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas.
Nice.
These have been awesome texts, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you to Carl Surecki, and thank you to John Roach. On behalf of the lovable producer, Conrad, good night, Wisconsin.
Hurricanes are blowing.